We're back on The Big Show. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the country's biggest stars. And it's always nice to talk to Martin Clunes. How are you?
Hi, Alex. I'm grand, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I've said this before and I like you a lot. I tell you why. You don't seem to take yourself too seriously and that's very endearing.
Well, have you seen me?
Have you seen me? Is that something you've always been aware of, that you can become a little bit up your own backside if you get too into the acting stuff?
Oh, yes. No, it does. Yes, it's never really... I don't know if it's because... it was in my family because my dad died when I was quite young, so I didn't really, he wasn't acting around the house. I don't know. I've always liked it and been impressed by people good at acting, but it's only as clever as it is, especially when I do it.
Is it also the fact that you've got a sense of humour? I mean, we saw you in the old days, men behaving badly, being funny. You kind of bring that to your acting, don't you? A raised eyebrow or comic timing?
Possibly, yes. Well, I sort of enjoy that kind of thing. I like a chuckle, and I'm of course funny looking, which lends itself to that sort of thing.
Do you really think you're funny looking?
Yes, kind of, yes, and I've been told repeatedly.
You don't need to hear that, do you really?
Oh, I'm all right. I've got a nice house.
We've all got an ego to support. When we look at what you've done over the years, it's so interesting how your path has led you down, most recently on TV, to us getting to know you and your dogs. Did you ever think it would come to that?
No, never, no. I mean, it's extraordinary how dressing up and showing off can get you into these places. We've just nearly finished making another documentary about horses, and I've just, you go somewhere with a camera, you can meet whoever you want. It's quite extraordinary, and I never thought I'd be that person, and I'm still slightly nervous about appearing as myself too often because, my day job is trying to convince people I'm somebody else, but we'll see how that pans out. But I do love it. I've been to, just recently, last year, to Mongolia. I've ridden Arabian horses in Abu Dhabi through the sand dunes. I'm the president of the Royal International Horse Show for the next 3 years.
I hope they fly you first class, because all these air miles will be doing you the world of good.
Yes, quite. Yes, that's a good point, isn't it? But there's, there was only one less qualified president in my knowledge.
And I think that human touch, though, is what makes you a good actor, because if we like you, we're already going to be endeared. And everybody who likes dogs has to be a nice person, don't they?
Basically, people who don't like dogs aren't nice, and the rest of us have no use for them.
When you look at what you've done on the TV in your doctor role, is that always fun to kind of have a consistent job that you do well and everybody seems to like? Because in your profession, it kind of is up and down, isn't it? Sometimes in work, sometimes not. Yeah. No, I mean, it's it's great because it's employment, and I'm self-employed, so any good regular job is a good one. But I think some soap actors would find that there's a rough edge to that pineapple. But I don't think, I only do Doc Martin every other year, so it isn't all consuming. But I do love doing it. I love being down in Cornwall, and I love being that grumpy fella too. Is it also fun being the star of your own show? I mean, there's so many people who are involved with these productions. You get your own catering and nice hotels and a person who walks after you, begging you if there's anything they can do for you. How do you keep on top of all that?
To be honest, because it's my company, I try and save money with that crap, and I don't give it to myself. I don't have a driver, I don't have a big smart trailer. I'd rather put the money on the screen.
Or in your own bank account.
Or how dare you.
Big houses don't buy themselves, Martin. And of course, let's do the plug. The DVD's out now for that.
Please buy it.
We've got The Holiday Home to think of next, haven't we? Season 4's on DVD now for Doc Martin. That's available. When we see you on chat shows and things like that, is it easy being you? Because I know some actors can't bear when people like me start asking you questions. Would you rather just be an actor, or are you happy being you?
That's a good question. Yes, initially I'd far rather not, but I'm a realist, and it's sort of daft not to do it because, frequently it's a contractual obligation, but I'm very happy to do it. It's no skin off my nose. I'm especially doing these sort of radio interviews. I meet people, and then a couple of years later, oh, don't you remember? I interviewed you on Radio Cheadle.
Is that strange when you walk down the street and people know you? Is that fun to have people coming up and poke you in the back and say hello?
It's okay. I think you have to be philosophical and sort of Sometimes it's intrusive, but it's best not to allow yourself to mind it, if you know what I mean. I believe one has a choice of reactions to any set of circumstances, so I sort of choose to not mind any intrusion. And people are, by and large, friendly. It's not like I'm in a soap where people sort of throw rocks at you. Those guys get it really bad, I think. But no, people, they seem to like the show and things, either Doc Martin or Men Behaving Badly. Or some people still come up and like William and Mary or talk about it.
Good old
and a lot of my earlier work.
I'm just looking through my notes. I don't seem to see any references to you falling out of clubs or any bad behaviour, which is interesting because that's what you're known for with the TV show. You've always seemed to be quite private. It seems to buy you longevity. It might not make you money in the short term, but
I don't know. I think I'm quite boring, actually. I'm sort of happily married and hard working. It sort of doesn't make great copy. The Daily Mail don't run those stories, do they?
So that's the headline from this year. I'm just too boring.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm glad to be part of your boredom. Good luck down there. We're calling you today at your home, so it's nice to be with you.
Oh, thank you.
Stick the kettle on, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks very much for coming on the programme. And of course, the Doc Martin DVD's in the stores now.